What's up? And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. So, the markets have been selling down very, very aggressively. But I just want to take the time to just say hi to everybody, those especially who are enjoying the June holidays with their friends and family, and those who are enjoying the World Cup. I think it's one of those times where you just want to take a break from the markets. I think the markets are obviously still bearish. I haven't done live stream in a very very long time, right? And at the moment, I think a lot of people probably want to know what am I doing, what do I have, and I think one of those questions in the live stream immediately, Michael mentioned, what's my biggest bag? So, but before that, I just want to share this very very nice view with you guys. It's not often that you can have a top down perspective, and I will tell you why a top down perspective is important, especially when we are having our portfolios being torn apart. We thought that, the previous low that we experienced just a few months back, when BTC was around $6,000, we thought that was it. But unfortunately, BTC is still continuing. You are gonna be trending down back again, and what's the reason? Why is everything happening like that? I thought it was over already, but let me just share a little bit with the view. So this is the view of Singapore from where I'm staying. So as you can see, that is the museum over there, and then you can see the whole Bay Area. I think it's lovely, guys. I think it's sometimes it's all about having that kind of perspective. Okay, and things are still moving around. There's still developments happening. More. I think maybe that's even a mall or stage. Yeah. So things are good, man. I think honestly, there's no reason why we should stop buying cryptocurrencies or digital assets. There's no such thing as the market is correcting for a few reasons. Okay, maybe just to share my opinion. I don't have the concrete answer, but I think it's good to kind of talk you through. Okay, so the market correction can be due to a few things. One, we have regulations, right? So initially, regulations are the only ones that actually caused a lot of fear and uncertainty in the market, because firstly, if they're starting to regulate the exchanges. That means they want to know who and where is the money coming from, right? So that already choked off quite a bit of the speculative money, or the people who intended to invest in this space in a big way. Then after that, it came the miners, right? The miners from China were also affected. ICOs were regulated, and the way that we raise money via ICOs, or at least projects that wanted to raise money via ICOs, they had to comply with country regulators. Okay, then we have people becoming smarter, which is folks like you guys. As you all matured with the space, eventually you stop making stupid decisions. You stop throwing your money randomly at projects that didn't make sense, or you knew that they would stand very little chance of being successful in the market. Yeah. So that being said, with the current and also during December, we had such a crazy bull run. We really had a crazy bull run during that period, and and everyone was like, "Wow, this is going to the moon." And you had all the so-called the celebrities like John McAfee. You have people like Mike Novogratz, all just and Tim Draper, all just very very bullish on BTC. So that kind of fueled the market, right? Because I noticed a comment even in my own Premier group that why I don't feel compelled to put in new money into this kind of market. I was a little bit I was wondering why. Why do people love to buy when things are just continuously going up? Why not buy during the dips? Why are you not buying when it's cheap, right? So I kind of gave a little bit of an example. where during the time when the subprime, okay, the subprime, or during SARS in Singapore, okay, during the SARS period in Singapore. SARS is basically one of those epidemics or pandemics. I can't really recall the word, where there was an outbreak of an influenza. Okay, people were only 13 people were dying, but I think in Hong Kong it was a little bit more serious. Sorry to kind of cut in the SARS thing before the subprime, but anyway, either way, property prices were being suppressed because people thought, okay, this is like one of those things where people are dying from this disease. It's very very scary, and they started selling their homes, right? They started actually selling their homes. So although only 13 people died in Singapore, but more in Hong Kong, I think, and the property prices were affected. And those who kind of those people who kind of understood that, hey, come on, man, yeah, sure, it may seem very very scary, and this seems to be spreading quite fast, but those investors who were smart enough, who understood the market enough, bought those properties from people who were selling at a fire sale. People were selling their properties like crazy. So same thing when the subprime happened, Lehman Brothers happened. There were stocks that were really cheap. There were properties that were really cheap as well because everyone was flipping, right? So everyone was flipping properties, and after that, everything was over leveraged. Everything was over leveraged, and the market started to tank aggressively. People who couldn't afford to leverage obviously started selling at a loss. And of course, those who were over leveraged would be selling at a loss and suppressing the market as well. Okay, and eventually, the smart investors and brokers who understood the markets, they already were observing. They were, okay, this property is a good place. It's a good location. Great transportation and whatever. Okay, and yeah, they picked it up. They bought, and they flipped it for a great they flipped it for a profit when the market started to normalize. Okay, so yeah, man. I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing where you have to address these things. So you have to be a little bit more. You have to be emotionally stable in times like this. When you're not emotionally stable, you do irrational things. Okay, that is why understanding the market is important. Why do you think okay, so people like us who understand the markets will capitalize on people who don't understand the market. It's just the way it is. Institutions will also make use of this. They will even use the media to create FUD. They will use the media to create unnecessary information that may or may not be true, or they will actually hype up that kind of sentiment because that's what they want, because they want to buy on the cheap. So how can I influence you to sell? I need to influence you to sell because firstly, your portfolio is already in the red. When people lose money, people get emotional, man. You know, people lose money. People who are emotional because they are losing money, and they're losing more money than they can afford. So when they start losing more money than they can afford, they start thinking irrationally. They start losing sleep. Okay, they start losing sleep, and then it starts affecting them. So yeah, I mean, look, in this market, let's put it down for you. What are the strategies? Firstly, firstly, if you're not over leveraged, get more BTC. I think that's the simplest. Get more BTC. Don't even question why should I still. You're gonna be very very happy when this whole thing starts to stabilize and the market starts rallying and regulations are in place and you don't have enough BTC. What's up, JM? What's up? Haven't seen you in a while. I haven't live streamed in a while anyway. So yeah, um, you just focus on that, right? The market is now being pressured because ICOs are also selling down. They're hedging their positions. Whatever they've raised, they want to basically just continue to they just want to continue to buy. Sorry, they just want to sell and hedge their positions because they need to pay their staff. all right? They need to pay for liabilities. Okay, so all these people are actually selling off their, when they were raising their funds, they wanted to sell off so that they can basically get cash. Also, remember all the hacks that have been happening, right? All these hacks, all these hackers need to cash out, right? They have to go and solidify their efforts, because if everything, let's say if they hack 20 million worth of cryptos, it's only worth 20 million at the point when they hacked it. They need to do something about it. So they need to obviously cash out, right? Or else what's the point? I'm holding all these digital tokens for what, right? So they want to solidify. They're gonna dump on the market at whatever price. They're not gonna care about whether or not it's gonna benefit the market. They don't give a shit. They're just gonna sell. So this is what's gonna happen. Yeah, so we are experiencing this kind of situation at the moment. Don't panic. Seriously, don't panic, man. I mean, the more you panic, the more you're gonna just make the wrong decisions. You're gonna sell your portfolio at a loss. You start not thinking rationally. So focus on the cryptocurrencies or digital assets that make the most sense in this space. Okay, yeah, it's just the way it is. Okay, it's just the way it is. So have a plan for yourself. Okay, start dollar cost averaging. Start thinking longer term. Stop being immature. I think we are already in 2018. I hope that my viewers that have been watching the stream, that have been following the channel, have already matured already. CG is almost turning one turning one since we start the premium group in July. It's already June. Okay, so I sincerely hope that people are now focusing on the functionalities. People are focusing on the infrastructure that will make the most sense. I hope that people will focus on which digital assets that will suit my needs and suit the people's needs. This is how we are going to have to think. We have to look forward, guys, and also not just talk about, oh, could this potentially do this? Could this potentially do that? Focus on the cryptocurrencies that are, especially the teams that are showing the most effort, the teams that are showing the most effort, the teams that have been consistently throwing out their developments for you, showing you their stuff. Okay, you know which cryptocurrencies you are following. And if these cryptocurrencies are not doing that, you should be concerned. You should be concerned because these are not, these are not stocks or whatever. Okay, they don't need to report to you. Okay, unfortunately, they don't need to report to you. They can just keep quiet. They can just keep quiet. But the fact that they're telling you about their progress is because they respect the community, and that is what an investor like me would expect. I would expect them to at least share with me how have they been progressing, what kind of partnerships have they been making as of now. So yeah, so if you think that from a technical standpoint, I'm not really going to cover much of that because I cannot share with you any charts. But I think I just wanted to share my opinion about how this market is going to move. And at the same time, I know that it's still the June holidays. It's still so early, guys. It's still so early to comment whether or not this is the low. No one is going. Could it go lower? Yeah, why not? If it goes lower, guys, if it really goes below 5,000, please buy it. Please buy that BTC because BTC is the gateway to all the other cryptocurrencies. Okay, so if you haven't bought, please just get more. It's very, very simple. You don't have to complicate matters. Try to understand what's happening around you, and then after that, when you look at it, and when you look at the news, hey, the news isn't that bad. It's nothing that we have not heard before. If you think about it, it's nothing that we have not heard before. Have we not heard about exchanges being hacked? Yeah, of course. Have we not heard of smart contracts being compromised? Yeah, we've heard that before. Regulations. Have we not heard about regulators wanting to clamp down on cryptocurrencies and impose taxes on its investors and traders? We've heard that before. So what have we not heard? Why is the market still selling down? Yeah, exactly. Buy lah. That's right, man. Arnie, buy. Just buy. It's very, very simple. You know, it's very, very simple. You don't be concerned, guys. Seriously, no one in Premier, CG Legacy is worried. You can call whatever bottom you want. Okay, you want to call whatever bottom you want, and ultimately it's just a matter of how much are you willing to pay in terms of price at the moment. So feel free to comment below on, you know, what will you be doing. Will you be buying, will you be selling, and if you're selling, why, and if you're buying, why? You know, justify. It's good to let the community know what is happening, and it's especially in this kind of market, buy when everyone else is selling. Buy when everyone is selling. That's the whole idea. And you have to focus on the Satoshi value in your portfolio and not the USD value. Because if you keep focusing on the USD value, you get very upset. You get very, very upset. You feel very, very sad. And then after that, you lose focus on why you even stepped into this space. You are here because you feel that the blockchain and cryptocurrency and digital asset space is going to revolutionize the current technology. It's going to value add and create more value, and also solve the current problems in the current system. That's why you're here. Apart from that, obviously, maybe you're here to speculate. But if you're here to speculate, at least try to get smart in technical analysis, or you can just learn to be a you can just learn fundamental analysis like how I've been doing, right? And yeah, just keep it simple for yourself, man. Don't complicate matters, guys. Okay, don't complicate matters. All right. And also, I hope to see you in the next stream.